Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and we've been getting hell for not working on the 39 Forgotten Hot Rod project.
It's literally forgotten.
It is, yeah, it's been forgotten again. It's like the second time it's been forgotten, but we've been kind of, this summer I was focusing on getting the Skelly 34 all running and driving and ready to go because that car was kind of a little easier and closer. So we got that on the road. I've been putting some miles on. I'm really happy with that car, and it's been a lot of fun. And in the background, what we've been doing is kind of starting to tinker on the 39 again. I know we got a lot of questions about this car, what's going on with it. So just wanted to run over a couple things that we've been doing on the car that we've done recently. We just didn't really film the whole process. What some of the future plans are, and then you know, what everybody's asking about. When's the raffle for the 39? So first of all, a couple things we've done to the car. So thing has the Patronics. It starts awesome. It's working out pretty well. We've put the voltage regulator in. We did the 34 recently, so I didn't really feel like we needed to do another voltage regulator video. We got the voltage regulator in. We had to polarize the generator, and we got a battery that's the proper size in. I had my huge like jump start battery.
And those killer terminal posts.
We found these at like an AutoZone. It's kind of funny, but these are awesome because they bolt in the front. Allowed us to run the wiring straight down. We have to clean up the spark plugs yet. I know. Everybody yells at us.
Clean them up, dude.
Give me time. Give me time. We'll get those cleaned up here shortly. So we got some of the wiring just loosely run in the engine bay, but now the thing is charging. So something I'm trying on this car that I haven't done before, and I know there'll be a lot of discussion about it. I've heard rumors that you can run a 6-volt generator on 12 volt, that the generator really doesn't care what voltage it is, it just puts out 30 amps, 25 amps, whatever your generator is. I've just heard that it can kill, I guess, the field in the generator. So we tried it. I wanted to just see. This has the 55 T-Bird engine with the 6-volt generator in it. This car has like basically no amenities in it other than, you know, headlights, taillights.
A heater.
Might have a heater that will be used sporadically. So I don't think there's going to be a huge draw on the battery. So if you have a good battery, I don't think we're going to be working the generator hard, but we're going to see. I want to give it a try and just see how it is, because I feel like it's one of those things that people
It's a wives' tale.
Sort of a wives' tale. Like, we know that it's a true thing, but it's kind of like the starter on these old Fords. A lot of people say, oh, you got to use a 12-volt starter because 12-volt will kill a 6-volt starter. Well, every one of my flathead cars that I have and mess with, I start them on 12 volts and I had no problems. I know a lot of people have done that. So I think this is one of those things that, yes, in some scenarios the generator could go bad if you overload it. Like if you're driving for 10 hours at night with the heat, the headlights, your like cigarette lighter hooked up to something. Charging your phone, like everything possible, maybe. But for a car, from what I can understand, for a car that's just running around the cruise-ins for fun, you know, it's a car like that, you'll probably be okay with it. So we're gonna see. So one thing I wanna do is just start it up and show you guys that it is charging, number one, just to kind of show that it does in fact work. So Mike's got that hooked up.
So it's at 12.5 volts right now.
So what I'm going to do is to show you guys, we're going to crank it without the ignition on, because this thing fires with the freaking Patronics so fast. So, so you see what's it down to?
It was down to 10.
Okay.
10 volts.
So what I'll do is I'll rev it up a little bit, because it's a generator, you got to get the RPMs up. So you can see it jumps right up to 13 volts, basically where it should be, which, you know, just proves our idea that the generator will work. So I'm going to kind of do a long-term testing as we're driving this thing and kind of getting all the bugs worked out. We're going to see how the generator does. And if it dies, it's not hard to get a 12-volt Y-block generator. It'll be no big deal. They're super easy to change on this car. But I kind of wanted to test it and be the guinea pig, because I think it's one of those things that a lot of people are buying, like expensive power gen generators and stuff like that. And while they are good, they work really well. If you're a budget hot rodder, sometimes there's little tricks like this you can do to just get it on the road and maybe just start driving around town and working the bugs out. And then when you can afford a power gen generator or even find a 12-volt one, you can. But it's going to be wired all the same, so it's no big deal to swap them out. So we're going to see how that does. It does charge, which is the biggest thing for us, because we wanted to be able to we were like killing batteries, just starting them and moving the thing around in the driveway all the time with it, and it wasn't charging. So we got that done. Also got a little throttle spring hooked up on this. I made a little 1/8" bracket that we just bent over 90. Bolts down to a factory bolt here. We got the double spring, obviously, for safety that goes through. So that's all hooked up to this like factory linkage. I think we showed a little bit of that in the video with the pedal. So that's all working really good. I've driven around the driveway and stuff. It works well.
Headlights work now.
Yeah, headlights work. Mike did some of the wiring for the headlight switch, and our buddy Justin's been helping. So.
Hey, headlights. We still have to wire the high beam switch. It's actually wires flipped out the firewall. We actually have to mount the switch in the floor.
Yeah, so we're using the old time foot high beam switch, which I love to use, that old stuff. So we got to run that down the firewall and under the floorboard to connect that. So we'll get that connected really soon. Get the marker lights hooked up and everything, the feed for those for the switch. But we're slowly making progress on this stuff. This is just a lot of the stuff that's behind the scenes that isn't really worth the whole video, but we wanted to definitely.
No one wants to watch me wire for.
Yeah, we've done
4
that.
hours.
So boring. So the whole summer we've been like bouncing between wiring these two cars. So we're finally starting to get there. We're gonna, like I said, take care of the spark plug wires. I think just because those wires are actually like good wires, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just that horrible yellow color. I think we're gonna wrap them in black cloth tape that'll give it, kind of tone down the yellow.
We actually did it already.
Yeah, we did.
This was this yellow color. I wrapped in cloth tape to help hide the ugly yellow.
Yeah, so to save money, and there's nothing wrong with these plug wires. So we're gonna route them a little better, wrap them in some black tape, they'll be good. And when we're doing all the like wrapping and taping up and clipping of the wires, we can easily just go and wrap those and it'll be totally fine. I'm not trying to go overboard with this card. They work fine. It's just something you can do with a roll of hockey tape or cloth wiring tape and make it look a lot better. So we got all that stuff done. One thing we need to take care of, that since we've lowered the car, it is settled quite a bit. So it looks bitchin', but my foot, we have like not much room there on the front end. It is like severely tucking tire, like almost tucking hubcap.
Yeah, it's tucking wheel.
It's pretty bad, or cool, but
till the wishbones bang off.
The wishbones are like sitting. So when we first lowered the car, there was a little bit of space between the wishbones and the frame, and I was kind of worried because it was like if we drove it, it might on a hard bump bang and hit the wishbone. Well, after we drove this thing around just like the property and it's settled, it's like sitting, damn near sitting on the freaking wishbone. So like obviously that's not good. So number one, eventually this car is going to get raffled off to somebody, a viewer, and I'm going to just guess that you guys aren't as good with slam cars as some of us other people are, that everything you own slam. So if you drive something this low and you aren't careful, you're going to rip the whole chin of the grill off. So number one, just because I don't really want to split the wishbones on this and tear back into the car that far, what we're going to do is just put a few leaves back in the front spring and get the spring up a little bit. The thing's still sitting like really nose down, so I think if we just put a handful of leaves in, it will lift the front end up enough that we will get a few inches of travel between the wishbone and the frame, and we should be totally fine, but also not tear the car apart. It'll also make the front end of the car not quite as low, and the person that owns the car in the future, if they want to split the wishbones, take a few leaves out, you can get this awesome stance, but also this turning radius is
non-existent.
It's pretty small, so it looks cool, not very drivable, so we're going to kind of go backwards and do some of that stuff. So that's some of that. We have some glass on the way finally. So Rick from Washington that gave us some tour around the Pacific Northwest to visit some of the early V8 Club guys that we went picking at. He has a 40 Tudor that we showed you in the video when we visited his house. He is getting the glass redone and kind of getting some paint work done. So he put some new glass in, and he has some original 40 Ford with the Ford script logo on the glass that he is replacing, but it's still good, and it's perfectly shitty for this car. So he's sending me some of that glass in the mail, so we get that, we can order up some seals and start putting some glass in it. And
everybody will be so happy with you.
Yeah, people can stop yelling at us. So we're gonna get glass in this thing, and we're kind of moving along pretty good. After we get the glass in it, and we get the last little bit of wiring buttoned up with it, get the lights all working and all that stuff, we're pretty much ready to start driving it and putting some miles on and just working out the bugs. Same as with the 34. We're gonna probably drive it and be fixing it as much as we're driving it for the first few days or weeks, and then, you know, just start putting miles on it. So the plan for the car is, everybody's been asking, we are going to raffle the car. There's been like an overwhelming response from that live. We are going to raffle the car. It's going to be $25 a ticket, and we're going to probably do something where we give away, like if you do 2 entries, $50, you'll get a free t-shirt out of the deal. If you do a single entry, you'll get like a sticker pack. So for $25, you can get a chance to win this car. We're not doing it for a long period of time. So if you've ever seen some of these car raffles that end up being months and months on end and you don't know when they're ever gonna raffle it, we're doing 1 week. So we're gonna announce it on a Sunday, and then we're gonna raffle it live on the following Sunday. So no messing around. If I get 10 entries and it's only 10 of my friends that wanna own this piece of crap, then that's all we get. If we do better.
Did we get approval from the boss to do this? This doesn't sound like we're allowed to do it.
Don't tell the boss. So yeah, the idea with this car is, hopefully, we're planning on like end of May, maybe around, what's the holiday end of May?
Memorial Day.
Yes. So, yeah. So Memorial Day, I think we're going to do we're going to do like maybe that weekend or that Sunday, we'll do the announcement of the winner. What that's going to do is give us time to get this thing kind of together on the road, and then I want to spend a little bit of time in like March and April just driving it and getting some of the bugs worked out, so we don't give you a car that's going to break down point onto the car trailer if you're towing it from home.
That may still happen. It
could still happen, but like I'll feel a little bit better if I want to be a little more confident than I am right now. So, so that's some of the stuff that we're going to take care of ahead of time. Try and get some of that stuff taken care of for the winter, so that they have something that they can drive and tinker with if they want to do some more to the car. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for the car. So there's going to be some updates on the car, but a lot of it just isn't really exciting stuff. So there won't be a ton of updates, but we'll be doing updates. We will be raffling the car. Definitely drop us a comment down below if you think that you'd be interested in the raffle. Just in the people that we've seen at events in person and then stopped by the shop have given us feedback that they thought it was a neat idea. So I think it's something that's really cool, and if this works out well, that people enjoy it and it makes sense, then maybe we'll find another car and do it again, and it'll be really fun to keep doing these, because I like the process of finding them, saving them, and putting them on the road. But I have so many cars I can't drive and keep all of them, and as we found out, I end up running them out of gas when I have too many cars that run. So that'll happen with this, like it just did. So that is the update on the 39 Forgotten Hot Rod. I appreciate you guys having all the interest, and like I said, drop a comment down below if you think you'd like to jump in on the raffle for this thing, or if you have feedback on you think $25 is obnoxious and way too much money, or is 1 week not long enough and you need time to get money from your paper route, just let us know and maybe we'll adjust it. But I want to hear your feedback. Thanks guys, catch you later.